Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we said that there is a custom among our ulama to mention that, paying attention please, logic is very important. You need 100% focus. Put your phones away, everyone. That our ulama have a custom of, before entering into a particular new ilm, they mention 8 different points regarding that ilm. Each one of them is of use, especially to prepare yourself for that ilm. The first is the ta'rif. We are studying ilm al-Mantiq. What is the ta'rif of ilm al-Mantiq? Let's first of all understand that there are some ulum that are studied or learnt for itself, in it being the ultimate aim and objective. For example, you study fiqh for the purpose of knowing and learning the ahkam of your religion. You study usul al-Fiqh as a tool to understand the origins of the laws of your religion. You study grammar not because grammar itself is going to, for example, this or that, but you study grammar because it is a tool for you to speak, to write correctly. Right? So there's a difference between fiqh and usul al-fiqh. There's a difference between, for example, balagha and ilm al-nahu or ilm al-sarf. And here as well, it's the same thing. Ilm al-Mantiq, is it something that you study for itself? Or is it something that you study as a means for something else? The answer is, it is a ilm that you study as a means, to use as a means, to use as a tool for something else. Right? What is that something else? What do we call ilm al-Mantiq? It is al-Ulum. So we use ilm al-Mantiq as al-Ulum. We study ilm al-Mantiq because it's al-Ulum, because it's not only used for one other ilm, it is used for many other ulum, especially in al-Ulum al-Aqliyah. Remember when we said that there are different types of ulum, aqliyah and naqliyah? Remember when we said that? What's an example for naqliyah? Ilm al-Hadith. Ilm al-Ulum al-Aqliyah al-Amaliyah or al-Nazariyah? Theoretical or practical? Nazariyah, practical. Why? Because we said practical, theoretical, because we said with practical they were 3 ulum. What were they? Tadbir al-Nafs, Tadbir al-Manzil, Tadbir al-Mudun. Nafs is yourself, Manzil your house, Mudun is the city. What is the ilm that deals with Tadbir al-Nafs? Ilm al-Akhlaq. What is the ilm that deals with Tadbir al-Manzil? Sharia. What is the ilm that deals with management of the city? Siyasa, ilm al-Siyasa. Thank you very much. Then we have al-Ulum al-Aqliyah al-Nazariyah. And the first of these ulum is علم المنطق. And so therefore علم المنطق is going to be used for all of them, for maths, for فلسفة بالمعنى الأعم, for فلسفة بالمعنى الأخص, for عرفان, for علم الكلام, علم العقائد. For example, for علم الأصول, you're going to be using logic, right? That's why they refer to علم المنطق as a canonical tool. What does canon mean? Someone says it's a camera, I'm going to throw this pen at them. Canonical tool is, we use that word in Arabic, قانون, right? Yani laws, for example, we can say. So canonical, sorry, is it with a C or with a K? Okay. Canonical means it is a laws that are combined or used together. Now, tool, what does tool mean? Tool means that it is a ilm that is used for something else. So that's why we say that there is a ilm that is used for itself, and there is a ilm that is pursued, that is studied for something else. يطلب لذاته يطلب لغيره. And for علم المنطق, it is one of these علوم. That's why you might find علم المنطق to be very boring, you might find it to be very dry, but always remember that you're not studying it to passionately fall in love with this ilm on its own. You're studying it because it's going to be used for many other ulum, right? And that's why even in our sequence of studying here, in my program, we're studying this pretty much in the early stages, because we have a lot, inshallah, planned, if Allah gives us life, ahead of us to go more into ilm al-aqidah, to study, inshallah, next year ilm al-falsafa, for example, right? When you want to study ilm al-falsafa, when you want to study ilm al-irfan, when you want to study with these things with depth, you need the good, strong basis, good, strong foundation. And even if in your normal life, as Hajj Jafar was just saying this morning, even in your normal life, logic will make you think with more accuracy. It will give you more precision. You'll become more daqiq in your evaluation of things. You won't be looking at things in a shallow way. No, you'll pick up on things very smarter, right? That's why I said that in many cases, a lot of things that comes as a result of fallacies, right? Someone who is a sweet talker, or someone who makes a lot of noise, right, in the way they're delivering, you know that, okay, well, there's no substance in that, just because they are mixing it with stories, or just because they're good as an orator, or just because they're making a lot of noise, doesn't mean that they have the truth is with them, or doesn't mean that their argument is sound and true. So the definition of ilm al-mantiq in Arabic, it says down the bottom, if you can read in the footnote, it says ilm al-mantiq is an ala. What does ala mean? Ala means instrument, means tool. قانونية, يعني it has a set of laws. There is a qanoon for it. آلة قانونية. يعني it's not fawda. There's a system that it has, right? Up the back. So it reminds me of like being in public school. You know, public school, you have to tell the people up the back to be quiet. Primary school. Sorry. Sorry. Why don't you come sit in the front حتى أشوفك? Come and sit in the front. آلة قانونية. آلة قانونية. تعصم, from the word عصمة. What does عصمة mean? Infallible. تعصم, protecting, making you immune. Making you immune. مراعاتها, if you are observant of its laws. الذي مراعاتها يعني الذي يراعي, if when you observe the laws. What does it make? That's what does it immunifying? What does it protect? Your ذهن. Your ذهن, your mind. عن الخطأ في الفكر, from making mistakes in your thought process. So it protects your mind from making mistakes in your thought process. Change the word mantiq and write al-nahu. علم النحو. علم النحو آلة قانونية تعصم مراعاتها اللسان. No, اللسان عن الخطأ في الكلام. Thank you. Why did I say that, Yaba? Why did I change it to اللسان في الكلام?
Because to show that the way you structured the sentence, you have that.
Why did I say? What does علم النحو do to you? Tell me.
It allows you to speak well and prevent you from mistakes while interacting with others.
In language.
In language.
Right.
Or through speech.
Through speech, in language.
Verbally interacting with others.
Thank you. So, public school. So, you are using علم النحو as آلة قانونية. You are using علم المنطق also as آلة قانونية. That is in talking in language. This is in your mind. Right? The science of logic. Read Abbas. Where are we? شوف هذا.
The science of logic. Can I not prove to you that if one were to observe, his mind will be infallible from error?
Thank you.
Explanation of the definition. This means the universal scientific criterion in that logic is a set of principles and general laws that are certain and self-evident, or based on self-evident facts, leaving no place for individual conjectures or preferences.
أحسنت.
The mind becoming infallible. Infallibility means to be immune or to prevent. And so if human thought wishes to be safeguarded from error in the way it thinks, it is necessary to have the following.
The following, right? Becoming infallible. You can write next to infallible, you could write immune, you can write protected from mistake in the mind, doesn't matter. But here we're just doing a literal translation of what isma means, being infallible. Carry on.
This is something ordinary in any medical, mathematical, or conventional law.
What's number one, number two? Did you read that?
One, to be acquainted with the principles of logic.
Okay, to learn usul al-Mantiq, to learn the foundations of Mantiq, so you become infallible in your thought process when you learn the foundations of ilm of mantiq. That's why successful people always study and learn how they're able to think better, to control the way that they think. And this is very important. So many people are too overwhelmed by either their emotions or their arrogance. Either their emotions or their arrogance. And both of these will cloud your judgment as well. Male or female, it doesn't matter. It will cloud your judgment, your decision making. Why is it that you find some people indecisive? Some people have this waswasa of every single thing that they do, they need to do istikhara. Or some people, for example, can't really understand, oh yeah, I don't really know if you're right or if you're wrong. Or some people can't pick up on red flags. So we don't mean red flags only in like relationships or getting married or wanting to get married. No, just in normal things, with a friend, with a business partner, with an employer, with an employee, with a client. Doesn't matter how it may be, right? Ilm al-Mantiq will assist you to make things in front of you clearer. That's why Ilm al-Mantiq is so important. Carry on.
2. To observe these principles by utilizing them and applying them in the correct order. This is something ordinary in any medical, mathematical, or conventional law. A physician or engineer or a driver must know the laws with accuracy, and if they do not apply these laws, it is natural that they will fall into error, without this affecting the infallibility of the law and its correct way. Important note. What was mentioned previously refutes the misconception some have that there is no use in the logical principles on the basis of it not preventing those who study them. That is, the philosophers and logicians from falling into error, because it is the principles of logic that are immune from error, and not the logicians and the philosophers themselves.
So some say, you're saying that logic will make you think correct, but why are all these logicians and philosophers making mistakes? There's a difference here between philosophy or a logic making a mistake or the logician making a mistake, right? The person studying logic, if they are mixing up things or if they haven't observed, that's why it says mura'atuha, they haven't observed the principles, then of course they're going to make a mistake. It's you observing the principles that keeps you immune, not just studying it. Maybe someone would study logic, or maybe they're a logician, but they're making a lot of mistakes. It's like, for example, you being a heart surgeon and also a chain smoker, or a cancer specialist, scientist, right? And vaping, for example, مثلا. Don't mix. Carry on.
Thus, whoever does not perfect or observe these principles will without doubt fall into error.
Yes, will without doubt fall into error. That's right.
Thinking. This can be defined as the willful movement of the human self in conjunction with its rational faculty in search of unknown matters.
So what does thinking mean? Thinking means you've got something you don't know. You move your brain, your mind in searching and gathering information to try to combine, bring together a definition of what it is that you don't know.
This movement of the self happens in steps. It begins with confronting the unknown and the self, then moves towards the available information it has in search of the appropriate foundations for this issue, until it finds it.
Okay. Yep.
The self then goes back to the issues gathered, compiling a set of principles that lead to a conclusion.
So you have something called a train. Choo-choo train, right? You, in your mind, number one, you come across this train. What do? You look for information that you have in your mind in how you are able to define what this train is, right? So these are the steps that are usually going to happen. And then, of course, you're going to combine and bring together all of this information and come up with a conclusion. And that is, a train is a four-wheeled vehicle that rides on sikka. What's sikka? On train tracks, and is run by charcoal, by faham, right? Okay, so the self then goes back to the issues gathered, compiling a set of principles that leads to a conclusion. Carry on.
This means that when we are faced with something unknown and want to know about it, the soul with its rational faculty starts from the side that it knows of in relation to that unknown. And then it moves to the information stored in it.
You know what track is, you know what a wheel is, you know what faham is, you know what a vehicle is. So you've got all of this information already stored in your minds, right? Now it's just a matter of compiling that information to know what this thing is in front of you. Carry on.
Then it moves to the information stored in it that has been previously gathered and searches for information that fits appropriately with what it is looking for. If it finds something, we will form a picture that will guide to acquiring a required result, which is the knowledge of that particular thing that was previously unknown. This final stage is called the return movement.
Yeah.
Therefore, a human being cannot acquire new information if he does not have previously stored information.
Yani, I want to explain to you what a train is, and you don't know what a wheel is, or you don't know what faham is. What am I going to explain to you? That's why everything that we know or that we come to know is based on things that we partially already know of from before, that we partially already know of, right? But it's just a matter of you bringing together what this is, because your first time you're seeing a train, you know what a vehicle is, you know what wheels are, you know what. Now you're just bringing it all together. What's wrong, Ibrahim? All right, why are you laughing, lad? Hey, did you like that nice joke I mentioned on Friday about the brain?
Which one? Oh, the Arab brain?
Yeah.
No, but didn't the Arabs, they invented like mathematics and stuff, so I disagree.
All right, carry on.
Therefore, the procedure of thinking is subject to previous information and based on it, being the capital of a human being. A merchant cannot gain profitable business if he does not have the capital.
Capital of a human being. What do we mean here by capital? Your ra'sul mal, your sarmaye. No, it doesn't mean paytaht ya ma'edi. Your ra'sul mal. Your capital means yani you are relying on this, all of this. Hai shpikum hai. Carry on.
And the same is with someone who thinks, which is what philosophers say, كل تعليم وتعلم بعلم قد سبق.
Very good.
Every piece of learning and teaching is based on knowledge that has
Been previously inquired. Very good.
2. The movement of thinking is a disciplinary movement, حركة صناعية, based on two movements. The first is collecting the primary material, and the second is organizing these materials
In a correct form. In a correct form. That's really important. So this haraka sana'iyya that you're doing to gather information, you need to make sure that you're gathering the correct information. gathering the correct information. So you're not going to say with a train, you're not going to say wings, مثلا, for example. Why? Because wings are for another transport vehicle, which is a carry on.
If a carpenter wants to make a chair, after imagining the chair, he first gathers the appropriate material for it, like wood,
Like wood and what else?
and then
Nails and what else? Glue.
Nah, what the hell glue?
Don't take glue.
Haven't you used glue?
What do you mean? You use glue. What do you mean? You yeah. Carry on.
and then puts it together in a particular form that will be based on his specific requirement,
Which isn't
turning it into a chair.
ahsant.
Imagining past chair. A thinker does the same thing by gathering the appropriate required information, similar to the material, and then puts them together in a particular form that would meet his requirement.
Yes.
The mistake that might occur in making the chair could be either because of the material, such as bad wood, or could be based on the form of the chair, like a deficient form or being crooked. In the same manner, error in thinking can occur either in the type of material chosen, like the information being inappropriate for the required result, or in the form where information is disorganized and thus affects the required result.
Ahsant.
Therefore, there is a dire need for a discipline and art that teaches us the method of choosing the information appropriate
For the result. So which one in the previous paragraph, what tells you that, hey, this information that you've gathered together is wrong? You can't use that as an argument. The same way as you can't use PVC glue for wood, for example. You need to use super glue for woods. What ilm tells you that, for example, carpentry? What ilm tells you that the information that you gathered in your argument is wrong? Ilm al-Mantiq tells you that. Carry on.
For this reason, logic is the science that explains the principles of correct thinking, and it teaches us how to choose the information appropriate to what we desire in a correct way. It teaches us the method of correctly compiling them, so that it leads us to what we desire, which is knowledge of the unknown matter we are faced with. The discipline of logic teaches us the way of correct thinking in the matter,
Madda.
and in the form, surah. This will be further explained later on.
Yeah, we'll explain what Maddatul Mantiq and Suratul Mantiq means later on, inshallah.
This is why the discipline of logic is divided into formal logic, mantiq theory, teaching us the form of correct compiling of information, and matter logic, mantiq maddi, where we learn the principles of correct choosing of information.
Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.